talked about the law of attraction, and multiple topics today's is don't focus on your goal, focus on your why. I've heard that in other things, but not with law of attraction. How is it different?
Well, it's not different I think. It's just something to consider. Like a lot of people, they put their goals and then they focus on the goal. But what happens is our mind is very smart. And so by focusing on the goal, your mind knows that you're not there yet. So when you are not skilled enough yet, when you didn't practice or when you don't know exactly how to do, when you don't know exactly what to focus on, then it could be that you're so focused on that goal that your mind says you're not there yet. You don't have it. You don't have the car. You don't have the relationship. You're still in pain, so your health is not what it should be. So your mind is fooling you. And so you get more of what you think about. And we already spoke about that a million times, that we have no idea what we're thinking about all the time because we have about 70,000 thoughts per day. There's no way that we're conscious of all of them. So in order to bypass that, we can focus on the why. Why do we want the money? Why do we want the health? Why do we want the relationship? Because we think that the money is going to give us a certain feeling, or the relationship is going to give us a certain feeling. Or let's say we want to be healthy because we want to play with our grandchildren. In my case, I want to play with my grandchildren. So instead of focusing on the health, I focus on playing with my grandchildren. And I have that idea in my mind to really, I see the scenes with like really playing with my grandchildren. And my mind is fooled by that because my mind is now going to prove to me that I can play with my grandchildren. Okay, this is like a
Right.
couple of steps into it, but it is very, very effective.
And so the basic thing is if your goal doesn't have a why of why you want something, it makes no sense. Like say you want the brand new car, but the only reason you want the brand new car is because of the why is really something selfish. It's not something that is giving a definition. Well, just because Johnny has the same car, or I want to, not because I want to feel good, because it's going to help me do better with sales, or it's going to make me feel better about myself. There has to be some sort of why in it. And a lot of people set goals with no why.
Yeah, and then we come to our values. What are our values? And the goals that we have that are not congruent with our values, it's going to be very, very difficult to achieve them. Because if you are not, if let's say you're really not into cars, it's not on your priority list. When you would question yourself and you would say, okay, how many times do I think about a car? Never. Okay. But now, like you say, my neighbors have a new car. I want a new car. I need a new car. But it is not really something that you want. You just want to be also the why in this case is not the car, but it is you want to be acknowledged as also being successful in your street. So in somewhere in your brain it says like I need a new car so that people think I'm successful. So your goal is being successful. That's the why. You want a car to prove that you're successful. So you better focus on the success part because you want to be successful. That is your value. Okay. So then if you focus on success and you let go of all the other stuff, you will see evidence in your life of that success.
I see, because you're knowing what that why and what it tastes like, what it feels like, what it means in
Yes.
certain ways. And what do you see? A lot of people have goal setting that really aren't goals for themselves. They really don't align to who they are. And if they don't align to who are and they don't want to be those people, those goals will never be achieved.
Yeah. Most of the time, it's just ignorance. We don't know, or this is why it is so important to learn about manifestation. it is not only about the law of attraction. The law of attraction is just a small part of manifesting what you want, manifesting your dream life. It's just a little part. It's just a law of the universe that is going to help you to create what you want. But if you don't start with no understanding what goals are, what dreams are, what your values are, if you don't know who you are, then you're like way behind. You start like minus 100. First, you have to come to zero. Then you can start building your dreams. You know what I mean? So it is so important, again, to understand exactly what the process is. And a goal setting is like an art in itself. It is not about, oh, I want a car, or I want a vacation, or I want $1 million in my bank account. Those things are never going to cut it. It is not working because it is, and I'm not saying it will never work. You will see people doing it. And that's the big, I would say the big illusion. You see other people, they say, oh, I manifested $1 million because I had it in my mind. But they don't tell you all the steps that they did to get to that. And so there is like a whole package. There's way more going on than just visualizing the $1 million.
Mm. And that sometimes isn't taught by all law of attraction teachers. They visualize the money, but not the why factor. And how's it going to benefit everyone, not just yourself? Because
Well,
if you,
I
yeah,
don't think that they keep it away from you. It is just like in 2 minutes, like in a short video, you will get inspiration, but you are not going to learn how to really effective create the life that you want.
that's the point. So what would you recommendation be for someone who thinks they're not focusing on the why? How do they figure out the why in their goals?
There are a couple of tools, of course. I think very simple. It would be make a list of the top 3 things. You can make a list of all the things that you think about during the day, and then see what is your top 3. What are you thinking about? What is keeping you going? If you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you think about? If you're sitting on your couch and you just drift off a little, what is it that you have in your mind? What's important to you? And then a second thing you can do is see where you spend your money on. Where do you spend your money on? Because money is an exchange. So people will always find the money for the things that they really want. So now you're going to take a look. What do I spend my money on? And if it is on things that you, let's say it could be on books. In my case, I spent money on books. I spent money on self-development. That's just, for me, it's so important. So I know because I spent money on it. I will spend money on books rather than on clothing. But there is other women that would spend money on clothing or on going to the spa or whatever. What is your priority? Where do you spend your money? And make a top 3 again. And then you're going to see that what you think about, what you spend money about. And then a third thing I would suggest is that you think about, what do you talk about most? So when you see one of your friends, what is the topic? What are you talking about? And that is also going to give you an idea of what it is that you have on your mind. And so that is a way to determine your values.
All right. The best place to go is Rika Rivka Markel on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. Appreciate it, Rika. Thanks again.
Thank you.